Sí.
¿Quién?
Bueno, pues número uno, la importancia. Yo creo que la importancia de cerrar lo que hicimos ayer.
Sí.
Toda la emoción, todo, pero ¿cuántos paquetes de liderazgo han entrado desde ayer? Es en vano. Es en vano. Entonces, yo por ejemplo, ya, que si todos pueden tener sus notas ya. Yo tuve dos invitados de fuera del país y ya me aseguré, digo de fuera del país, de fuera de la ciudad, me aseguré que antes de dormir ya terminara ese paquete, ya empezara a hacer su lista, ya empezáramos a trabajar mañana lunes, ya, porque hoy no quiero, o sea, quiso empezar mañana lunes a trabajar, pero ya está cerrado eso, ya está el paquete, ya todo, pero fue antes de darme cualquier tiempo libre, ¿no? Lo más importante, es lo más importante. Entonces piensen a quiénes invitaron ayer, piensen a quiénes invitaron ayer y qué es lo que hicieron después de que terminó el evento. Ya todo el mundo jaja, sí, ahora estuvo perrísimo, etcétera, ahí nos vemos. No pasa nada, más bien, ya te diste cuenta qué es lo que estamos haciendo, ya te diste cuenta cómo funciona, empezamos a mirar tu paquete de liderazgo, empezamos a hacer tu lista de 50 a 70 personas y empezamos a trabajar ya.
¿Alguien está sentado ahí? Tú, güey.
Entonces, número uno, digo, no les tengo que decir, o sea, es la importancia de, si no es en vano todo, si no se cierran mínimo 50 paquetes de estos eventos, pues es en vano. Aprovechen, ¿no? Aprovechen que hay gente estudiando cómo dar la información de la manera correcta, aprovechen que hay gente poniendo en conjunto estos eventos por ustedes. Esto es por ustedes, no por uno, es por ustedes. Aprovechen, valoren, ¿no? Número uno, ¿no? Número uno. Esa es la gran importancia. Todos fíjense hoy en cerrar todos sus invitados ayer. Número dos, pues hoy obviamente tiene que ser más grande el evento, ¿no?
Claro,
Sí.
claro, por supuesto. Claro.
Obviamente tiene que ser más grande el evento, ¿no? Mientras más gente ustedes llevan a eventos como estos, la credibilidad de esas personas va a ser cada vez más grande. Y su credibilidad también, porque sus resultados van a aumentar. ¿Ok? Ustedes tienen que verlo como llevar a gente a eventos como esto es igual a nuevos paquetes de afiliados. Es igual a nuevas redes. En ustedes está el cierre, pero lo tienen que ver así de importante. ¿Ok? Aprovechen estos eventos. Ahora, ayer fijamos unas metas, vamos a empezar a hacer eventos como estos una vez al mes. Una vez al mes. Una vez al mes significa que vamos a tener eventos como tal, pero no significa que no voy a trabajar y cuando llegue el mes, pues ahí me llevo mi gente, ¿verdad? Porque ahí, se los juro, me hago rico yo, ustedes no, ¿eh? Se los juro, ¿eh?
Sí.
Se los juro, si ustedes quieren seguir llevando nada más a los eventos que yo organizo, el que va a ciclar soy yo, nadie más. Porque damos cuando están dependiendo de mí para ustedes llevar gente. Si ustedes empiezan a hacer su evento, o sea, platicamos ayer eso en la cena, ¿no? Si ustedes, la única cosa que a mí me diferenció de otros fue que dije, pues voy a empezar mi fogata también, voy a empezar a hacer mis eventos. Creo que soy capaz de hacer mi primer evento, mi segundo evento, mi tercer evento, mi cuarto evento. ¿Qué puedo yo hacer, aportar? ¿Qué puedo yo aprender de él que pueda aportar a otros? ¿Qué puedo seguir aprendiendo de él o de otros para poder aportar a otros, ¿no? Entonces eso fue creando, eso es lo que forma el ingreso residual. Entonces, si ustedes nada más esperan a llevar gente a los eventos grandes que organicemos, en los que van a ganar son nada más nosotros. Y no queremos eso. Queremos que todos ganemos, ¿no? Y aprovechen las herramientas que están recibiendo en charola de oro, o sea, pero de oro con diamantes, güey, porque neta es, o sea, desde el Ustream a la organización de este tipo de eventos es así. Aquí lo tienes todo, ¿no? O sea, para que comprara un vuelo y diga, ¿sabes qué? Voy a retrasar mi vuelo a Alemania con el equipo de Alemania, ir a visitar este equipo, presentarme en persona, etcétera. O sea, es así, ¿no? Entonces, valoremos eso, cierren todos los prospectos que tienen de ayer hagamos el evento de hoy más grande. Vamos a tener eventos como este cada mes. Cada 2 meses nos va a estar visitando Kish, si es posible que nos pueda visitar, pero no nos quedamos ahorita, ¿no? También tienen muchos otros eventos en muchos otros países. Entonces, va a empezar un ritmo jamás antes visto aquí en México, ¿ok? Y depende 100% de ustedes quién quiere estar en el siguiente evento al frente. ¿No? ¿A quién le gustaría estar en el frente del siguiente evento? Entonces, pero gánenselo, porque se los juro que, o sea, los resultados se ven, se lee, la gente que está trabajando se lee, se siente, o sea, no hay manera de hacérseme eso aquí, ¿no? Gánenselo, eso es lo que queremos tener nueva gente, sangre nueva en el escenario, queremos tener sangre nueva compartiendo experiencias nuevas, maneras de crecimiento nuevas, queremos tener muchísima gente con éxito. No queremos tener una con muchísimo éxito. Nuestra meta es tener muchísimos con un éxito significativo. Y ponerlos a cada uno de ustedes en un punto, no ponerlos ustedes, ponerse nosotros guiarlos en un punto donde ustedes hagan un crecimiento o una ganancia significativa o significativa suficiente para que de ahí ustedes vuelan, o sea, sin ningún problema. Eso se llama nivel oro. ¿Va? Entonces, esas son nuestras metas de ahora en adelante. ¿Quiénes van a ser ¿Quién va a ser la nueva sangre en el escenario? ¿Quién va a empezar a hablar en frente de la gente? ¿Quién se va a empujar a hacer más? ¿Quién va a ser la cabecita que van a decir todos? No me la imaginaba de esa persona. ¿Te acuerdas de este güey hace 3 meses? ¿Te acuerdas de este güey? ¿Quién va a ser ese nombre? ¿Quién va a ser esa niña? ¿No? La primera niña que tenemos dando eventos en frente de 150 personas. ¿Quién? ¿No? Entonces, pongan esas metas en sus carpetas, ¿no? Y decidan quién va a estar en el escenario del evento siguiente, ¿no? Y si no hay, pero ya tenemos unos que sí, ¿no? Que se siguen enriqueciendo ellos, ¿verdad? Pero queremos, les vuelvo a repetir, no queremos enriquecer a alguien mucho, queremos ponerlos todos en el nivel de oro. No ponerlos, sino guiarles y ayudarles a que ustedes se pongan en el nivel de oro. ¿Hecho? Ya está. Entonces, ¿quién de aquí honestamente entiende inglés muy bien? ¿Por qué no te acuerdas, File? Un día estábamos en Colima. Fuimos a Colima, File, está acá atrás. File tuvimos un evento con 300 personas. Estaba Taylor, estaba Kish, estaban 300 personas en un hotel, todos hablando español, etcétera, ¿no? Y de repente, le paso el micrófono a Taylor y Taylor, ¿quién habla inglés en español? Y todos, todos, o sea, 300 así. Ok, perfecto. Y dijo una broma en inglés y todos. O sea, una broma en inglés dijo así, que una broma en inglés que si no lo entiendes, pues no es como si no entiendes en español serio, ¿no? Ya nadie de todos. Y de repente le hizo como que cualquier cosa, o sea, él nada más le hizo así. Y todos. No es posible, qué chistoso. Entonces, absolutamente nadie sabía qué estaban diciendo. Entonces, no importa, porque en esos temas, pues la siguiente vez que hicimos, ¿te acuerdas? Pues entonces hablas tú primero y después traducimos todo lo que Kish o lo que Taylor dijo, ¿no? Entonces, honestamente, ¿quién de aquí entiende inglés? Pues ya, la mayoría. Perfecto. Yo, so, kick it.
How's everyone doing? Very good?
Great.
Okay. How long have most people in the room been in B?
6 months.
Raise your hand if you've been in for 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
2 months. 3 months. 4 months. 5 months. 6 months. 7 months. Over a year. Let's go. How about pin levels? Who's affiliate? Who's bronze? Who's silver? Who's gold? Diamond. Diamond. Platinum. Okay, cool. So I sat with these guys yesterday at dinner, and we went over a lot of good information, and hopefully I can share with you a few thoughts that will be necessary in you winning. Obviously, I'm here, not for me, but to leave you with information that's in my mind that you can take and then apply and then get the result that I've been able to experience in your own business and in your own life. That's solely what this is for. And it's cool because we're all young, but it's not like a play business. You can't play business and expect to make a lot of money. You need to work business. You need to be business. So yeah, this is for you. The first thing that I was talking to these guys about in achieving any success at any level is you need to identify exactly what it is that you want. Right? So not what you think you can have. Right? Most people, you ask them what they want, and they say, they justify that they want a house this big. The only reason they want a house this big is because they don't think they can have something bigger or better. Right? Or they base it off of the current result, which in fact is a very small scope of the actual reality of life. Right? So what do you actually want? And the point of finding that is unless you know exactly what it is that you want, and everyone wants different stuff. Right? I want things, Mama want things, you want things. They're all different, but we all want them. And we don't know why we want them, but we do want them. Right? They're different for everyone, yet we all want it. And if you really crystallize and identify what that want is for all of you personally, all of the desire which is required in doing the means necessary to attain it will come to you. Meaning you can't work hard if you have no idea why you are working hard. Right? When times get tough, unless you know exactly what you want, and you have that driving you and pulling you and pushing you through whatever's going on, you're going to fall. And you're not going to get back up. So you need to identify exactly what it is that you want. Not what you think you can have, not what your parents think you can have, not what anyone thinks you can have. Just quiet down, figure out what do I want. And then vividly create that image in your mind. Vivid, exactly what is it? What kind of car are you going to be driving? What kind of house are you going to have? What's your lifestyle going to be like? How are you going to be, presenting yourself in a room? What's the response you're going to have in front of people? What's your organization going to look like? Right? So you identify what it is that you want. Everything on a material plane first takes place in the mind. Right? So it's like the pens you're writing with, the laptop, the iPhone. Everything that's necessary to build an iPhone has always existed since the beginning of time. But our awareness or our level of understanding wasn't capable of creating an iPhone. But it was always here. Right? Everything you need to build a massive organization is right here. You already have it. It's a matter of you becoming aware of it. How you become aware of it, you need to tune into the picture of the actuality of what it is. And that all happens on a mental plane first. I'm looking like that. So what is it that you want? And vividly create that vision, right? And it needs to be so clear in your mind, right? The vision of what you want to do. Right now, as I'm speaking to you as if I already know and can see all of you at a higher level than what you even know you can do right now. Right? I'm seeing that and it's shifting the reality. Right? My belief and my imagination are meeting and shifting the plot. And that's deep thinking. That's how things work. Right? So when I started Vima, I was 19 years old. I had no idea what I was doing, but I had a vivid image of exactly what I could do. And it wasn't for any reason. I just saw something and I believed in it. Right? And because it was so clear in my mind, my ability to drive the message through to somebody else was perfect. Right? They would talk to me and they would see what I saw because I saw it so clearly. Right? You need to see what you see so clearly that everyone around you can see. Put all of your focus, all of your energy in building your network marketing business on you, right? If you're playing a sport and you're very good at it, what can you help someone do? Become good, right? If you're playing a sport and you have a very high understanding, what can you help someone do? Understand. Same exact concept. So take all of your focus and put it on yourself. Is it on reverse?
Yes.
Por favor. Orange. Did you say orange? Gracias. Gracias.
Cole?
Está bien, sí. So that's a starting point. Vision. Vision, finding out what you want. You guys take me below that you understand the starting point of every success. You look at anyone who's doing anything great in life, they had a really deep, burning desire to do it. Nothing is easy. Network marketing is not easy. It's not. It takes time, it takes energy. How do you think we make so much fucking money? Because it's hard, right? Right? And if you don't have that desire dialed in, something that's keeping you up later, it's making you want to take an extra step, wake up earlier in the morning, right? Go to bed a little bit later, skip the party, get to the meeting, do the extra call, spend 8 to 10 minutes, practice your presentation, read a few more books. It needs to get to that point. Whatever it is in your mind that's driving you, that you want, and there's nothing more beautiful for each individual than what they want. What you want, nothing should take precedence over. And I believe that you didn't choose what you wanted. Right? We're not making our heart beat. We're not making our hair grow. What is that? What makes us want what we want? There's so much stuff in the way of what we want that I think our job in life is to uncover everything so we can freely get what we want. And that's our, I think, that's part of why we're on earth. So what's your vision? It needs to be vivid, clear, and the team needs to come up with it, right? You guys need, as a collective, whoever is the highest thinker, or whoever can set the highest standard in the room, everyone lock onto them, right? And that's just smart. Whoever is the highest mind, whoever is the largest vision for everyone try and see what that individual is seeing and patch that, tune into that, right? Rather than having a bunch of different exchanges of different ideas, right? Pick it's not pick, the leader comes, the leader happens. But whoever that person is, get in tune with that vision and that idea. And then as the group begins to see it, right, as you all clarify and embody and lock into that, it becomes more and more and more and more and more and more clear until everyone can see it. So that's first, vision. Second, you need to decide. You need to have a long-term commitment. Network marketing isn't something that in a month or 2 months or 5 months you're there. It's something that takes time. It takes years. I tell people this is a 3 to 5 year plan where if you follow the fundamental and you build it the correct way, you'll have a substantial result. Right? Substantial for everyone means different things, but 3 to 5 years and you can be completely in a new place. Right? And that's where your scope needs to be on day one. Be thinking 3 years out, 5 years out. Be thinking long term. And that'll put you in a mental state where the game that you're playing makes sense, right? And then be thinking about the new person. But let me back up. Decide. After you have the vision, after you know what you want, you need to make your mind up that you're going to get it. It's redemptive, especially in sales or selling. If you're trying to lead a sales team and you don't know where you're going, you're not going to be able to lead anyone. No one will buy into you. The moment you've decided, right? The moment you've made your mind up that no matter what the hell's going on, you're going to get to where you want to go, that's when people look at you and they buy you. They say, I'm going to follow that person. And everything shifts. All of a sudden you have this sort of like faith running through you because you've made your mind up that regardless what happens in this situation, regardless what happens in this meeting, regardless what happens, with this person that I'm talking to, I'm still going to go. People sense that. It's confidence, right? And they'll buy into that. So after you painted your vision and identified exactly what it is that you want, decide. And then once you decide, commit. Right? Inspiration without action is excitement. So everyone could come to the meeting, get real inspired, and they get real excited, and they get all of these things to do. You're taking notes, and then the notebook will not be picked back up. Right? Some people will leave this meeting, they won't find out what they want. They won't figure it out. They won't make a clear vision for themselves, and they won't make a decision. Right? So inspiration without action is only excitement. Don't fall into that trap. All right, so vision, decision. Is that? Yes. Yes. The vision is going to cultivate the desire. And then decision, commitment. What else? Goals.
You said inspiration without action is only excitement.
Yeah.
Sin acción. Solo.
Does anyone have any questions? And we'll keep it on to some more stuff. No? Okay. From that point, something everyone must do is master your presentation. You need to have your presentation so flawless that every person that you talk to gets started. Right? The reason someone will do something and the reason someone won't do something will always exist. Depending on how good your presentation is, will be which side of that teeter-totter that you're on. Right? So master the presentation. One exercise that's really, really good is just closing your eyes and imagining a perfect presentation, flawless. Right? Seeing the meeting or seeing the opportunity go completely well. Even if you fall off track, your mind will be trained into it going right, that it will jump right back on. Right? So you need to get yourself to a point where the information you are giving is so clear and so fluid that every person that you talk to starts with you. Practice. How do you get good at anything? Practice, practice, practice. I've given opportunity presentations. I've given training meetings thousands upon thousands of times. Because I've done that, I'm really fucking good at it, right? But anyone can do that. So give training meetings and give opportunity presentations as many times as you possibly can, and that's just frequency, right? The more people you're talking to, the better you get. When I got started, I was on the phone and I was on Skype. I was telling these guys all day, like no joke. I went to bed at like 4 o'clock and I woke up at like 8 o'clock, and for a year and a half straight, all I did was talk about opportunity, training, reading. How could you not get good, right? I had a vision, I made my mind up, I committed, and then I practiced. I had a vision, it was so enticing, nothing took precedence. So great, I wanted all of this stuff. I wanted my life to change, right? I made my mind up that I was going to get it, and that drove me in working all day, which caused me to get really good, which caused the result that made the vision happen come to fruition. Follow that? You guys understand me?
Yes.
Okay. And focus on the gold level. If you're not at the gold level, get to the gold level. ASAP. Right? If you want to be in a position where you're really making a lot of money, and I'm trying to talk to you right now as if you're trying to do what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to do right now. Alright? I'm trying to talk to you as if you're trying to do what I'm doing. If you're trying to get to the gold level, or the first like hedge mark is get to gold. Right? You need to have yourself at a point where you're making $600-700 a month. You've enrolled people. Because you've enrolled people, your belief level that you can make money in selling is there. And when you believe that, you can bring someone in confidently because you know you have the ability to help them make money. Get to gold. When you get to gold, get to a go for gold. Right? Right now, you just see in a room like this. Imagine once you see a factory with millions of cans of verb in it, and a 250,000 foot home office. Your belief level on Vima will go through the roof. There'll be so much more behind the idea that you'll be able to drive it through. Right? You'll see the product, you'll see home office, you'll see all of this stuff. You'll see thousands of people out of just this room doing exactly what it is that you do. And you'll see people just like you making lots of money. So you guys should look at me and you should say, I'm no different than you. I'm not. right? If you see someone in life doing what it is that you want, that's 100% proof and evidence that you can do and have the same exact thing. But once again, we look at people and we tend to limit what we think we can do, and we tend to up what we think other people can do. Right? So getting to go for gold, you'll see hundreds of other people doing what it is that you do. Your belief level in VMO will go up. If you have a higher belief personally in what you can do and what you can help other people do, then your ability to sell people on the opportunity and sell people on the products will go sky high. Right? So get to the gold level as soon as you can. And I think that's good enough for today. So main thing is vision, create it. Create something fabulous. Right? Mexico, you guys could look at what the people in Organo Gold, look at what the people are doing in Mexico and have already done. And then think about how, Memo, File, all these guys will be sitting around the table and you'll have 40,000 people in your team. And you'll be running an operation, earning millions upon millions of dollars. So if you bite into something like that, the idea is bigger than you, right? Because the idea is bigger than you, you use the strength from the idea. So think of something big. Whatever your mind can get, grasp onto, that's a cool thought, right? You still get stuck on that. I'm envisioning it right now. You get excited. Whatever your mind can lock onto, think and stretch it. Constantly be expanding. And I was talking with these guys yesterday, and they were saying that, and it was like, because I have a vision for what I want to do with my life, it's so grand that I do different things. I see shit differently. I think completely differently. I'm on a completely different wavelength than everyone around me, 99% of the time. Unless they're somewhere thinking different. Bob Proctor, Memo's dad. There's certain people that are on a completely different level of thinking. You must be thinking different. You have to. If you're not, you're going to get what everyone else has. Fact. You need to shift the way you think and understand. You come into a meeting and you have your subconscious mind, you have your conscious mind. Right? Conscious mind is hear, smells, taste, touch. Draw like a line between my head. Your subconscious is your paradigm that controls all of your results in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind has been programmed through repetition, everything around you since the day you've been born. Why does Memo's image of wealthy one thing is why is mine something else? Why is yours something else? Because of our subconscious mind, what we've been taught since we've grown up. We need to shift the way that you think, right? And that will only happen through repetition. Come into the meetings over and 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 over again until it sinks in, until you're embodying it, right? Listening to the training call over and over and over and over and over again, right? Shifting the way you think about money. Some people think it's hard to make money. It's not hard to make money. It's an idea that it's hard to make money. It's also an idea that it's easy to make money. What idea do you want to listen to? And you have control over that. Everything. You have control over all of that. It's like there's two worlds, and we're all like, my world right now and his world, everyone's world is completely different, and they're all on top of each other. How crazy is that? It all has to do with the way we're thinking. Right? What changes us, right? We have school, right? We have, draw a line through my head once again, conscious mind, subconscious mind. Conscious, subconscious, body. Right? Conscious, subconscious, body. Right? And that's the instrument we live in. We're not our body, we're not our thoughts. Right? But your conscious mind, hear, smell, see, taste, touch. We built a culture around teaching and using the faculties that a dog has. Huh. What separates us from a dog? Your subconscious, your ability to create, imagine, intuition, insight, right? All of us, we go throughout the day, based off of the appearance of things, that's how we think of it. Right? You look at your scope, and because the scope suggests this, you believe it. The truth is hardly in the appearance of things. You need to look beyond it. You can use your creative faculty to tune into what it is that you want. This might be too much. Is this too much? No. I don't want to lose you guys. I don't want to lose you guys.
Just not very fast.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
So you have your ability to use these faculties that we've been blessed with and endowed with that change that make us different from a dog or an animal or a cat. That's what makes us a human being. Except most people, we don't tap into them. Right? Once again, like Steve Jobs, he created an iPhone. Where did the iPhone exist before it existed in material plane? It existed in Steve Jobs' mental plane, his mind. Right? And this creative faculty, everyone's always using. So there's 4 stages that people are in. Right? You have a negative spiral, meaning that you are not happy with the present and you have no vision for the future. Right? So you are not happy in the present, you have no vision for the future, so all of your focus, all of your conscious attention, without realizing it, is being focused on things that you don't want. Right? You're thinking about what's not working, you're thinking about why things can't work, and you have no vision for the future, so you have no hope that it's going to get better. Because of that, it's a negative spiral. You're using your creative faculties to bring about more of the stuff that you don't want. Then you have the current reality trap, which is where you're happy with the present, you have no vision for the future. You see people, they're just really happy with what's going on, maybe smoking a bunch of weed, at least in California, that's what it's like, or drinking a bunch of beers, and they seem like they're in a really good mood, but they have no vision for the future, so they're stuck. They're stuck, right? And then you have, can you help me out on this? Negative spiral, current reality trap.
Yeah.
Stress and anxiety, which is where you are not happy with the present, but you have a grand vision for the future. But it's so big that it almost stresses you out, gives you anxiety, right? The place where you want to be is happy with where you're at, and then a large vision for the future. You need to be projecting your mind and how things can get better. Projecting your mind and how you can improve constant. Things can always get better. And then know that it takes repetition. Any lasting shift. How do we think the way we think right now? And what I'm trying to get you to understand, and what you're understanding, is that in order to win in business, you must think differently than you do right now. You right now, if you knew at a subconscious level how to make $100,000 per year, would be making $100,000 per year, right? If you right now at a subconscious level are making $1,000 a month, that's how much money you know how to make. So you must shift the way that you think, learn, grow, books, read, see things differently, get around different people, different associations, and through repetition of that, your paradigm will shift. That's the only way. The only way. And your perception of you is more important than anything in life. Right? If you have a self-image of yourself that you can do things good and that you're very confident, right? You'll have an easier time in whatever it is that you do. And you can control that. You can control that. So I think that's good.
So it's mindful, right?
You realize everything that's going on is a thought. Everything started in someone's mind first. It's crazy. It's crazy. And you can really grow. You know, if you want to be presidential, like for me, my big goal, I'm not even going to share it, but when I have my big goal, I try and come from that place. Right? If you want to be a six-figure earner, you need to walk like a six-figure earner. You need to talk like a six-figure earner. You need to read like a six-figure earner. You need to think like a six-figure earner before you're a six-figure earner. Right? Albert Einstein, if you match the vibration and frequency of thinking with the result that you want, you can't not bring it into reality. Everything is energy. Everything is vibrating at a certain rate. Your brain, right? So if you have no understanding,
Bro, that's NASA stuff. Just
too much.
That's NASA.
NASA stuff.
Yeah. Took me like 5 times to read that Einstein stuff.
Right.
To get it.
Yeah.
That's
Think
like
about this
massive
concept.
language.
Think about this concept very quickly. Ready? So, fear at a conscious level. If you fear something, it's because you don't understand it.
Yeah.
Right? At a conscious level. If you fear something, it's because you don't understand it. Right? when you fear something at a conscious level, at a subconscious level, it turns into worry. Worry, worry, worry. Worry in your subconscious mind puts anxiety in your body. So people tense, they're nervous, anxious, right? People think they need fucking Xanax, they need, antidepressants, they need this. No, you need to understand your fucking thought. What is making you nervous? It's a lack of understanding. Study what is making you nervous, and you can fix it, right? So at a subconscious level, it turns into fear. Fear turns to worry at a subconscious level, which goes into anxiety in your body. Anxiety cannot be expressed, it's suppressed, right? And that puts a body at dis-ease, disease. Where do you think disease comes from? Right? Our brain is a fucking mechanism that controls everything throughout the whole entire body, right? Dis-ease turns into disintegration. On the contrary, right? Through study, you understand. When you understand things, you're not scared. Nothing is too big of a deal. Like, this could be completely fucked up. Meaning, like, I could come in here, you all could be like, I'm gonna quit. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. Like, we walk outside, all the tires pop on the car. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. Nothing is really that big of a deal, right? Through understanding, you have faith, right? You understand. Subconsciously, you have faith. You know that your thoughts control your reality. You know that through study, you can get better. And you know that people are winning just like you. That brings you a sense of faith that you can grow. One second. Let me pull this thought out now. So faith does what? Action. Not anxiety, action. Action is what? Expressed. Expressed, not suppressed, expressed. Your body's always for expansion, it's never for recession. What I said at the beginning is what you want, you don't know why you want it, but you want it. That's like the essence of who you are. Right? People are like, oh no, I shouldn't do art. Why? Because you can't make money doing it. You can make money doing anything. Anything. If you want to do it, you can get good at it. And if you get good at it, you can provide a value or a service to people, or they will exchange their dollars for what you have. Guaranteed. That's how you make money. People are like, okay, how can I make money? They're focused on the money. They're focused on the money. If you focus on the service and the value at a large quantity, large quality, money must follow. People exchange their dollars for what? A service and a quality. Why is Rolex expensive? Because it's a really good timepiece. They provide a really good service. It's a brand. It makes the person feel different by wearing it. It's a status symbol. Rolex provides that, so people exchange their dollars for it. Right? Like what I'm doing right now is very, very valuable information, so people exchange their dollars for it. Bob Proctor, my mentor, they pay him $100,000 for 45 minutes a week over Skype just to talk to him because this information is so valuable. It's the same exact thing you're getting right now. For free, right? For free. For now. So if you just put all of your focus, how can I just get better? How can my skill sets go up? How can my everything increase? How can I just become better at exactly what it is I'm doing? Here's my task. I want to become the best at it. I want to become the most effective. I want to provide the largest service to everyone around me. Right? If you just focus, how can I make everyone around me better? How can I train my mind to see the positive in everyone, lift everyone up? Right? You're adding value. Right? You must get money in return. You cannot not get money in return if you're adding value. People are focused on money. They're not trying to change themselves. You must change yourself, add value to you, the money follows. Right? So the spirit, the thing that you want, that's always for expansion. It's never for recession. Life is always for expansion. Right? When you look at a human being, you look at an oak tree. An oak tree will grow to its maximum potential. The bush, that is growing to its maximum potential. It's using all the nutrients available, using all of the sunlight, all of the water. Why? Because that's what's supposed to happen in life. Human beings, we're endowed with choice. We make bad decisions. Because of that, we don't grow like we should. That's what you're meant to be doing. You're meant to be growing constantly. Right? If you're not growing, you're dying. Life isn't ever still. It's either going up or going down. So yeah, what was your question?
I was going to say that what I think I understand is that fear that you're talking about, I would say that it's a good signal, right? You are getting out of your comfort zone, so it's a normal thing, right? Like years ago, where we used to live in the what can I say, Selva.
The
The
jungle.
jungle. We used to fear things we don't know, right? So that's a normal feeling, but we can learn about it and get better.
Exactly.
That's what you're saying, Nathan.
They were afraid to go in caves and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so take that information and use it. Know that what most people tell you is a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of crap. Most of your parents, they tell you a bunch of crap. Seriously. Most of your friends, they're telling you a bunch of crap. Most of your teachers, they're telling you a bunch of crap. If it doesn't have to do with what you want, disregard it. And then you need to have a group of friends where you can really lock in with them and trust in their opinion, right? So I have like my best friends that I do business with. They share my vision, they encourage me, right? I don't take anyone else's opinion to heart other than the people in my mastermind. That's it. Everyone else doesn't matter. I seal my mind tightly to everything around it, right? You create your reality. Everyone's living in their own reality. You can create it, right? So paint a big fucking vision and know that the thought that you have towards Vima will start to form into a material plane instantly. Think very, very big. Know that you can make tons and tons of money. As much as you want. I don't know how much you want. How much do you want?
Billions.
Bob Brogdon is like, where's all this money going to come from? And he says, wherever it's at right now. So yeah, other than that, guys, believe in yourself. Know that everyone's the same, basically. We're different sizes, we're different shapes, we like different things, we different colors. But everyone really on planet Earth is pretty much the same. And it's a matter of how you use what it is that you're blessed with that's going to shift your reality. Hey, Pop. Alright? So think very, very big. We're going to be able to help you, right? Every month. Think about this. If you're layering in gold, this business is about getting someone involved, right? Under promising, over delivering. Don't talk to people about how they can make $100,000 a year unless you know how to help them make $100,000 a year, right? Talk about a little bit of money. Like those guys squirting the shit on the windshields, right? Imagine, hey man, instead of making however little that is, which is sad, imagine if you can get into a situation and sell, and make a little bit more. And you help that happen over and over, right? So you layer it, and then you have a goal. Go to a convention or go to a big event, their belief level is there. Now they don't quit. So now they're working, now they continue, right? And then you go into their left and right, and you do it again. And then you go into their left and right, and you do it again. You go into their left and right, and you do it again. Some quit, some continue. It's about you holding what you want and continue the process until it sticks, until you figure it out. And you can build infinite. There's people that have built million-person legs. Million people on one side, and on the other side, man. Million. That's already happened. Someone just like you has already done that. What happened with Omni? It's all fucked up right now? But before it was all fucked up.
It's just corporate, like the whole thing's moving. It's people.
Yeah.
It works.
So like in the corporate side, someone did something sketchy and Omni Life. But there are Mexicans in Omni Life making millions upon millions of dollars with the same exact everything as you.
It's $1 million US
Per day.
per day.
The company. Well, doesn't that fuck you up?
In sales, it does 1.6 billion a year. Only in Mexico.
Whoa. That's 8 times our company in Mexico. I would study them. I would find out exactly what they've done. I would go to their event, I would see it, and I would recreate it. Completely.
What he did, it's the exact same thing. And I'm going to say this in English so you can understand as well. But he started with events, 3 people events, 4 people events, at a driveway. No kidding. That's right. 4 people, 5 people, 6 people. He kept going, and truly believed that he could do it. I mean, even his mom said, "You're nuts. It's not happening." He did it. It's the exact same thing we're doing. That's why, my dad knows we got scenes before of it, right? So he looks at us, he looks at Kish, he looks at me, and he says, "You guys are doing the correct thing at the correct time with the correct company," right? So value, see it for yourself the same way. You will get there. And one last thing, you can see Kish right now, which is this information will be valued as $20,000 per hour in a few years, and I can promise you that. No kidding. And number 2, you can only see 1% of what this is, because this is just the tip of the ice. You don't see it. Tons of work that has been true, right? I still, every single time I'm with him, it's over my head how much he works. Every time I'm taking notes, every time I'm pushing myself, I feel bad if I don't push myself. I feel not good. So there's a lot of work. You can always keep pushing yourself. We got it. We are at the correct place, correct time, correct company. There's nothing else to say. And just, I mean,
¿Alguien quiere preguntar algo? What's ASAP?
ASAP, as soon as
Yeah,
possible.
As soon as possible.
Quizá I've seen it in
Eso fue la pregunta de todo el entrenamiento.
yeah. Let's get it. Let's get it. Ambassadors, Mexico, 1,500 people, regional, PKU, Brad, myself, the whole team.
And beyond.
And beyond.
What was your vision like when you were starting? Or like what moved you in that place you are right now?
I saw Brad, and that was it. He was making $15,000 a week. I was just like, if you can do that, I can do it.
What are the books that you recommend?
Thank you, Grow Rich. That's the one that knows.
Which one?
Thank you.
Sí, ya sé, ya sé.
And then don't stop. So people like, he was asking me yesterday, he's like, "Do you like reading?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah." And I think that because of school, most people came up with the idea that like reading isn't enjoyable, or it's fun, or it's hard to read, right? Or like you're taking a test and you get a red X, so all of your conscious attention is focused on what you did wrong and makes you not like doing something, right? It is incredible that there's just knowledge and information from other people that have what you want, and they make it accessible to you. You gotta fall in love with study, fall in love with it. It's not just reading. For the past year and a half, I've read and listened to audio for I'd say like 5 hours a day, every day. So hundreds of books, hundred something books, and then thousands upon thousands of hours of audio.
I go to bed, he's reading. I wake up, he's reading. I take a shower, he's taking notes.
I'm teaching my mind what it needs to be.
Yeah.
Constantly. And we all can do that, dude. Everyone can do that. Everyone will do that. Everyone should do that.
Just 20% actually gets information, digests it, and applies it. Everyone else can do it. And that's it. But the tough part is actually look at your notes back home, digest it, and say, how can I apply it in the next 10 minutes? What can I do right now? What can I do? We got an event at 6. I got time to go, what to do? We got an event at 6. I got 2 confirmed. I'm going to have 4. What can I do myself right now? That's the people who's going to win. And only 20% is the one who do that. Only 20%. Be part of that 20%.
Constantly push the limit. Constantly. So it's like, think about if you are constantly thinking about what you want. If you wake up in the morning, and the first thing you think about is exactly what you want, and you're tuned into what you want, and you're excited, you're ready to go. You aren't waiting for something to happen, you're looking for something to do. Completely different, right? So before I go to bed at night and when I wake up in the morning, I'm literally living my life in my mind of exactly what I want. And every day I'm tuning that picture and that image in my mind. So it's just ever increasingly like great. And ever increasingly making me want to just go towards that. Napoleon Hill. Yeah. And when you tune in like that, the book that you read changes, right? Not because the book changed, but your mind is looking for what you want. So out of the book, you're getting what you need, rather than waking up and thinking about a bunch of shit that's not good. Completely shift your life like that. Yeah. You guys got it, man. Yo, just once again, the biggest possible thing that I did out of everything that I said, find exactly what you want. Exactly. Not what you think you can have. Quiet it. Quiet it. Mom, get out of there. Dad, get out of there. What do I want? What do I want my life to look like? Who do I want to be? How do I want to walk? How do I want to talk? How do I want to be dressed? What do I want? Crystallize that. And that's the starting point of everything. If you truly do find exactly what it is that you want, and focus your mind on that, you'll naturally seek everything that you need. You'll find all the books that you need to read because you're looking for them, because it's so great for each individual. There's nothing more brilliant than what you want for you. Find exactly that, and then create the vision vividly clear. Look at OmniLife, study them. What did they do? How did they do it? What kind of event system? Create it and make it vivid. See it and then create it. And that's it.